One heartbeat away from the Prime Minister's office. I'm Brian Lilly with TheRebel.media. So who is one heartbeat away from being Prime Minister of Canada? It's an interesting question, and the answer may scare and puzzle you because I can tell you I have the list, and it does both of those things to me. Carolyn Bennett as PM? It could happen, and I'll explain. Now, first off, let's be upfront. We don't have the same system as the Americans. If President Obama dies today, Joe Biden becomes president for the rest of his term. That's it. In our system, this order in council, it's just a temporary measure. If Justin Trudeau were to die today, the person who was first on the list would not stay Prime Minister until the next election. Now, here's what the order in council actually says. In the event that the Prime Minister is unable to perform the functions of his office, the next minister named in order of priority in the list of ministers set out in Schedule A who is able to perform the functions of the office of the Prime Minister is authorized to act for the Prime Minister. First on the list, Ralph Goodale. To me, this is actually a good choice. Goodale is experienced. Remember, he was first elected before Justin Trudeau and I could tie our shoes. Honestly, we were both born in 1971, late in the year. Goodale was first elected to Parliament in 1974. He knows his way around the place. He's generally competent. But then the list goes downhill from there. Spot number 2 on the Prime Minister sweepstakes goes to Lawrence McCallum. Who, you ask? Well, that's exactly the problem. Lawrence McCallum has been an MP since 1988. He's been in cabinet much of that time, but can you name a single thing he's done? No. He's a bit like that chair that you bought, you put in the corner. It's there, but you don't think about it. His real claim to fame is that he lost his post as Solicitor General because of a conflict of interest. He was getting funding for a school his brother was running. Now, other than that, can you name anything he's done? Neither can I. Spot number 3 goes to Stephane Dion. Dion's the former academic giant who was recently slammed in an Evan Solomon column in Maclean's as a vacillating featherweight. And I'd have to agree. This is the man who says Canada can't declare genocide as being committed by ISIS until the UN tells us that we can. Dion as PM? I really do hope not. Though that would be better than the number 4 spot on the list, which is held by John McCallum. McCallum is currently the immigration minister, the one who has botched so much of the rushed refugee program, bringing people over faster than we can get them housing, language or job training, all the stuff they were promised. He's helped flood food banks across the country. He's also the former defense minister that didn't know the difference between Vimy and Vichy. He also was blocked from getting on a Toronto to Ottawa flight for being too intoxicated. Just be glad that if it ever comes down to this, we don't have nuclear codes. Now, McCallum, is he better or worse than the woman in spot number 5? Carolyn Bennett actually sent flyers with images of body bags into northern Aboriginal communities during the swine flu outbreak in 2009. Bennett was not only the health critic for the Liberals, she's a practicing doctor. I once actually heard her describe the fight for universal, government-run childcare to the fight to legalize abortion. Actually, those are two very different things. But if something results in Justin Trudeau being unable to perform his duties, she's number 5 on the list. And ladies and gentlemen, that is truly scary. Now, they do rank the whole cabinet, all 30 of them. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but this has to be a blow to some people because there's no way that Marc Garneau, the former astronaut, the former head of the Canadian Space Agency, would have thought that he would only rank in 15th spot behind political newcomers with less impressive resumes like Chrystia Freeland or Jean-Yves Duclos. Who'd you piss off, Mr. Garneau? Was it Justin himself or was it Jerry Butts? Like I said, it's a scary list, it's a puzzling list all at the same time. Like, why is scientist and veteran MP Christy Duncan ranked way at the bottom below newcomer and lightweight Miriam Monsef? There's another puzzling one for you. And given that it's 2016, let me ask you this. Is it wrong of me or right of me to point out that the women and people of color that Trudeau bragged about having in his cabinet, they rank near the bottom of the list, while old white men are at the top?
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of The Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.